The season is almost over, but the biggest answers are still missing. Relegation fear, European pressure, title nerves, coaching uncertainty, World Cup injuries, and one brutal Champions League divide are all waiting to explode. And one question could change everything.
Football's more than a game. It's passion, pride, glory. This World Cup season, Goal90 brings you our biggest offer yet. Buy 3 jerseys and get 1 free. That's 4 jerseys for the price of 3. And yes, free worldwide shipping. This is a limited time World Cup special only until April the 30th. So move fast. Pick your jerseys. Wear your passion. Own the moment before they're gone. Visit Goal90 Shop. Link in the description.
Number 1. Arsenal vs City. Who survives the last stretch? Right now, Arsenal have the lead, and the run-in is not soft. Arsenal still have West Ham, Burnley and Crystal Palace. Those are the kind of games title challengers are expected to win, but this makes them dangerous. One slow start, one nervous crowd, one dropped point, and the pressure flips. City's path is heavier. They still have Everton, Brentford, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth and Aston Villa, with a Chelsea FA Cup fixture squeezed into the month too. More games means more opportunity, but also more fatigue. For Arsenal, this is about finally ending the nearly man story. They led for long stretches in 2022 to 23 before City chased them down, then reached 89 points in 2023 to 24 and still lost the title by 2 points. For City, this is about proving the rebuild has not weakened the machine. Arsenal have the lead, City still have the chase. Number 2, can Spurs actually get relegated? Spurs are not near danger anymore, they are in it. They sit 18th in the Premier League with 34 points, 2 behind West Ham, with 4 games left. The next problem is the schedule. Spurs still have Aston Villa away, Leeds at home, Chelsea away and Everton at home. That is not a soft escape route. Villa are chasing Europe, Chelsea is a derby with pressure on both sides, and Everton on the final day could become pure survival football, and this is not coming from nowhere. Last season, Spurs finished 17th with 38 points, their worst Premier League points total. The Europa League trophy gave the season a strange shine, but the league table had already warned them. This season, the warning became the story. That is why this question feels so strange. Spurs have the stadium, the money, the squad value, and the name, but relegation does not care about branding. It cares about points. For Spurs, the final stretch is simple. They do not need speeches about identity. They need results. A win against Villa could pull them out of the bottom 3. A defeat could make the whole thing feel real. Big clubs do not usually fall like this, but when they do, it starts exactly here. Number 3, can Chelsea still sneak into Europe? Chelsea can still reach Europe. The problem is, they have turned a reachable finish into a nervous one. They are 9th with 48 points and 4 Premier League games left. The gap to the Champions League places is probably too big now, with Liverpool and Aston Villa both 10 points ahead. But the wider European race is still alive because this season the Premier League's European places are expected to stretch down to 7th or even 8th. That is where Chelsea's season gets awkward. They still have Nottingham Forest at home, Liverpool away, Tottenham at home and Sunderland away. Forest are fighting near the bottom. Liverpool are protecting their place. Spurs is a derby with pressure built into it. Sunderland away on the final day could become one of those games where the table changes every few minutes. And for Chelsea, Europe changes the whole story. Miss out, and this becomes another expensive season with no clean ending. Too many players, too many resets, too much money for too little control. They need a finish that looks like progress. And before the race gets even messier, like the video and subscribe, because the next question is where title pressure turns into real damage. Number 4. Who becomes Real Madrid's next coach? Unless something dramatic changes, Arbeloa looks 99% out the door. At Real Madrid, a trophyless season almost always shakes the bench. Under Florentino Perez, only one coach has survived that kind of season, and even that survival did not last long. Arbeloa can say he is focused on the next match, but the noise around bigger names already tells you where this is heading. The first question is simple. Who becomes the new Madrid coach? Will the attack still be built around the left side? And who will be the signings for next season? Your guess is as good as mine. Number 5. Who is next on the injury list before the World Cup? The World Cup starts on June 11th, so every late season injury now feels bigger than a club problem. It becomes a national problem. and the warning signs are already here. Rodrigo, Xavi Simons, Hugo Ekitike, Eder Militao, and Serge Gnabry are among the major names reported as injured or expected to miss the tournament. Esteban is also in a race against time after ESPN reported his hamstring injury was worse than first feared. That is what makes this stretch so dangerous. Clubs are still chasing titles, Europe, survival, and prize money. Managers cannot just rest everyone, but national teams are watching every minute with panic because they know one injury could destroy months of planning. For France, it could be one forward. For Brazil, one winger. For Spain, one teenager carrying too much expectation. For Germany, one attacker. For Mexico, even a goalkeeper injury can change the mood of the whole country. Nobody wants this question to matter, but before the World Cup, it always does. Sometimes a nation does not lose its dream in the knockout stage. It loses it 3 league games before the tournament starts. Number 6. Who takes the Serie A UCL spot? Juventus, Milan, or Como? The Serie A Champions League race has turned into a status fight. Milan are third with 67 points from 34 games. Juventus are fourth with 64 from 34. Como are fifth with 62 from 35, which means they have played one more match than both giants, but they are still close enough to make everyone uncomfortable. Roma are also lurking behind, so this is not a clean 3-team race either. For Milan, the danger is embarrassment. They are in the Champions League places now, but their run-in still has Sassuolo away, Atalanta at home, Genoa away, and Cagliari at home. That Atalanta game is the trap. For Juventus, the path looks easier on paper: Verona, Lecce, Fiorentina, and Torino. But that is exactly where pressure becomes strange. When the schedule looks manageable, every dropped point feels worse. Then there is Como. This is the story that should not be happening yet. They are not just hanging around mid-table, they are close enough to turn the Champions League race into a problem for the old order. Milan are protecting reputation, Juventus are protecting status. Como are attacking the door before anyone expected them to arrive. Number 7. New champion or former champion for the Champions League. The Champions League bracket has given us one of the cleanest questions of the whole season. Is this the year Europe gets a new champion, or does a former champion take the trophy back? That is what makes the two sides of the bracket so interesting. One side feels like a new era trying to break through. Fast attacks, brave pressing, young legs, teams that do not want to manage games quietly. They want to stretch the pitch, turn matches wild, and make experienced opponents uncomfortable. The other side feels different. It has more old weight, more control, more defensive memory, more teams that understand how to suffer for 20 minutes, slow the game down, survive pressure, and still find one moment to kill you. That is the real contrast. This is not just attacking football against defensive football, it is risk against experience, fresh hunger against old scars, teams trying to win it for the first time against teams who already know what those nights feel like. And late in the Champions League, that matters, because the best team does not always win this tournament. Sometimes it is the team that handles the worst 10 minutes better than everyone else. So the final question is simple. Are we watching a new champion arrive, or are we watching a former champion remind everyone why this competition still belongs to them? So that is the season's final stretch. Fear at the bottom, pressure at the top, Madrid's next domino, World Cup injury panic, Serie A chaos, and one Champions League question left hanging. Which one decides the season? Comment below, like, subscribe, and watch the next video.